All right, guys, this is the S&P 500 Spider ETF SPY 1-month overview reading for August 2025. Obviously, it's already August 12th, but I didn't feel so comfortable doing this recording until after retrograde. And so now that retrograde station direct has passed, things seem to be clearing up for me. So we're gonna in this video, we're gonna check the accuracy of the first week of August against the SPY chart to see how we did, and then we're gonna give you the overall trend direction and chart behavior for the month of August, the chart behavior and timing of the highest high for the month, the lowest low for the month, and then we're gonna give you the day-by-day sequence of chart events, as well as the best trades that we see throughout the month. But if you're new to the channel, listen up. It's important to understand that the timing is usually on point to the day, but there may be cases where you need to give it plus or minus an hour or two of wiggle room. It happens. It's because not each card's energy going left to right across the screen will line up perfectly with one day of time. So in some cases, you'll need to give it wiggle room. It's the sequence of chart events that's most important to pay attention to. This is why I do not recommend trading this information alone. You should only trade this information if you have access to our early access subscription with the live Discord trade alerts and live trading view chart link drawings. I will show you how to get that stuff at the end of the video after we do a review of July and then give you the August trades. So let's get into it. The overall trend and chart behavior, an overbought peak that we sell off from through multiple supports. It's crossed with an important peak and sideways fluidity, which usually means multiple highs of the same price level, multiple lows of the same price level. Either that or we finish off around the same price level as where we started. Behavior around the highest high for the month. Sideways rotation, rise, meet the nearest high, and then fall back down and continue rotating sideways along key support. That's on a multi-day scale with one-day candlesticks, unless otherwise specified. And behavior around the lowest low for the month, a decline to and through support to meet another support, and then we rotate sideways along that second support. We should see the low more than once as a result. Now, let's take a look and see how we're doing so far with this SPY for the month. I'm pretty sure there was a big error, and that's why I try not to do these things during retrograde, because it's very clear where the error was made. So I ate a high on the 1st, plus or minus a day. The high ends up being the last day of July. And then I had the low somewhere, well, I wasn't totally off actually, somewhere between the 4th and the 6th. I was betting on the 6th. It really ended up being on the 1st. So this is really where, like, the mess up was, is that I was reading this arrowhead incorrectly. With that said, everything else seems to be going off without a hitch thus far. We had a trough on the 11th. We had a trough on the 6th. And then we rallied into today. Basically, we should see a highest high here on the 15th. And then there's some possibility that we see it again at the very end of the month. It's kind of hard to read because of the sideways fluidity card. But we're definitely on our way to that. As far as the remaining chart behavior, so we've got this U-shaped dip, which is actually a cross-reading congruency. Where'd it go? On the 1 day, the high is the Priestess card for the 8-12 reading. On the 1 month, for the 12th, the card is the Priestess card. So we're likely to see a dip back, like a dip from the high and then back to the high. On the 13th, likely open higher in the morning with an unexpected move to the upside. And then it looks like we may have some erratic behavior taking place between the 13th and the 14th, with a trough forming towards the end of the day, and then a big move to the upside taking place out of that trough, pushing the upper end of a range higher on the 14th into the 15th, where we probably are seeing a high again. On the 18th, a decline ends with a fast sudden move higher, taking us into a peak on the 19th, which is opportunity to close a long or open up a short. The 18th is actually an opportunity to open up a long. You would close that long early in the day on the 19th, where you would open up a short You could close that short probably on the 20th, but if I'm wrong about the 20th, it'd be at after multiple decline, a decline through multiple support levels into a low on the 21st. The low could be the 20th at the 21st. So if there's a lowest low thus far or close on the 20th, I'd probably close a short there. Who cares if it goes lower? It's about capturing profit while you can. We have a pop and a drop on the 21st, and then on the 22nd, sideways rotation ending with a fast sudden move higher. On the 25th, another notable move to the upside. We're bound by an important range on a multi-day scale there on the 26th. Or I should say there's an important range highlighted on the 26th. We're not always bound by it. Let's see. I'm getting the devil card for the 26th, so I'd be really, really careful. We probably have a prominent peak, if not another high, on the 27th. If we're at a highest high or close on the 27th, you can open up a short there. And you would close the short the next day at a prominent trough after a lot of price change to the downside on the 28th. You wouldn't want to hold on to that short into the 29th because on the 29th we have a notable move to the upside again. A full card opportunity in September, meaning that there's probably a significant move like a gap up or a gap down or some really big drop or pop. We'll look at that in more detail when we get into the reading for September. But that's SPY for August 2025. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. My friends, if you're serious about trading this information, you must have access to our early access subscription, which you find on our website, Tarot for Traders. TarotForTraders.com. You hover over order now, click on subscriptions. The early access subscription gets you the earliest access to any of our public posts that come out on YouTube. Will come out on Discord first. It gets you the live Discord trade alerts for day trading SPY and swing trading SPY, and it gets you the live chart drawings, which we're showing you in this reading. All is part of the early access subscription. $150. You make that back and some in one trade. We already had a solid trade today. And then this is a monthly reading, so it's an example of what you get for the following tickers. If you're to subscribe to the monthly access, you get the same information for Bitcoin, XRP, Tesla, Nvidia, QUBT, and Solana usually. But that's a monthly access, $300 a month. Again, super undervalued. You make that back in one trade. Much love and appreciation to everybody that goes ahead and does that. Blessings to all my angel investors. Using the resources tab to follow the rule of karma, where they're donating 5% of the profits back to the channel through one of these links, and 5% of the profits forward to a charity through one of these links, leaving you with 90%. As long as you follow those rules, the universe considers you an angel investor. I consider you a person of integrity. The universe is going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one. Oh, I forgot to look at July. Excuse me. So July was a really tough month to read. On the chart, it starts with this dotted line and it ends on this bar before this dotted line. I had a highest high thus far on the first, into a lowest low, at least thus far on the second. That panned out pretty well. Then we had a highest high somewhere around the third. That's the highest high thus far. On the third, and it was also opportunity to open up a short position, which took us into the 8th. I would have advised to close on the 7th, and if the 7th didn't work, close on the 8th, and if the 8th didn't work, then close on the 9th. 9th would have been a backup. So that kind of worked out. It wasn't a perfect trade. And then we had lows again around the 14th, 15th. Ended up being on the 15th, 16th. And it did come all the way back down to lowest lows, so that was on point. Followed by highest highs again around the 18th and the 21st. 18th and the 21st, highest highs again. Then there was a possibility of lows again in the end of that week, with a high on the 28th. This is where it went a little screwy. The 28th was a high side thus far, but we had this decline. And it's like this high here is what I was seeing, but it came in late for whatever reason. I mean, we entered into Mercury retrograde on the 30th, so it had to do with retrograde, kind of screwy, made it a little screwy, I guess, but pretty close. For the most part, that was pretty solid information, guys. And if you're wondering, the July reading, the shuffle file was created on June 5th, 2025 at 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, my friends, that's it for SPY in August. Much love and appreciation. Everybody goes ahead and supports the channel. Without you, we couldn't be doing this stuff every day, guys. Blessings to all my angel investors.